Three, two, three, two, one, and I'm steady trying to find a motive. Why I do what I do? Actually, I don't know the words to this song. Hold on. I actually don't know the words to this song. Hold on. I should have been prepared. Um, sorry guys. This doesn't happen often. This doesn't happen often. I'm sorry. Do I even know the melody of something? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Got you. All right, three, two, three, two, one. Say, I'm steady trying to find a motive. Why do what I do? Freedom ain't getting no closer. No matter how far I go, my car is stolen. No registration. Cops patrolling. Now they done now they done stopped me and I got locked up. They won't let me out. Hey, they won't let him out. He's locked up. They won't let him out. No, they won't let him out. He's locked up and don't let him out. Hey, and don't let him out. He's locked up and don't let him out. No, don't let him out. Hey, yo, welcome back to another episode of the Arts of Block podcast. I'm stupid. I'm the host, Eric Curry the third. By the intro today, I'm pretty sure that you can guess what the topic that we will be speaking on today. But welcome. I hope y'all all are doing well. I hope that y'all have had an amazing week, and I hope that this next week coming up will be just as amazing for y'all. I just need y'all to do a couple of things for me. I just need hey. I just need to make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so y'all can be notified every time we post a podcast that is on YouTube, on your favorite podcast platform. Please give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about the Arts Block podcast. Keep telling people about the pod, man. Keep sharing, because that's how we're growing, man. We're growing. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell an auntie about the Arts Block podcast, man. We're trying to grow into something big, the biggest podcast in the world. You already know how we're going to do. So on the docket today, we're going to speak on the diddler getting arrested. We're going to speak on Rubi Rose and Druski. We're going to speak on Rich Homie Quan's funeral. We're going to speak on BET being just a teat petty. And then I have some closing words for you all, some very serious closing words for you all. But yeah, first thing on the docket, the diddler finally got arrested. Diddy got arrested in New York City a couple of days ago, and the internet has been in the internet is interneting, right? The internet is interneting. The internet is doing this thing that it always does, right? Now, my only thing about the arrest, I love it. First of all, I love that he got arrested. He needs to be thrown under the jail. And I hope that his arrest has brought a lot of comfort and ease to a lot of the victims, to all of the victims. I pray that the victims are, I pray that they feel seen and heard. I pray that, they can now start the healing process knowing that he is locked away behind bars, right? My only thing about the internet and this whole thing, right, is that the internet is kind of playing a little too much for my liking. Now, knowing that we're in the internet age and the age of social media and people not knowing when to draw lines, that's a really common thing nowadays online, right? You not knowing when to draw a line, you not knowing when to take a situation seriously or not. Prime example of this is a dude on Twitter. He went viral tweet, right? whole time he didn't start the phrase, but he kind of like coined a new term. He found out that he wasn't a father. He thought that, he had a daughter. A girl told him that she was pregnant, had the baby, thought the baby was his. The baby ended up not being his. And he posted on Twitter, basically he was like, man, found out that the baby's not mine, ball up top, right? That's something funny, right? Saying ball up top after you found out that you're not having a baby, after you found out a baby's not yours, that's funny. That's hilarious, right? The situation is not hilarious, but the fact that your first mind went to ball up top, like, that's crazy. But what's not funny is you guys making these videos, making these posts, and it's kind of mock Diddy all you want, right? Mock Diddy all you want. And this isn't the only point I'm gonna make about this. There's a lot of points I'm gonna make about this whole situation, but mock Diddy all you want. That's if that's what you want to do, if that's your prerogative, by all means do your big one, right? However, when it starts becoming like offensive to the victims, or when it starts becoming like you're mocking the victims or what the victims been through, that's where I have a problem, because I don't like that, right? I don't think that's cool. That's not that's not funny to me. Like mocking these victims, mocking people who have been assaulted, mocking these people who have been through these traumatic events, mocking these people whose literal minds have been altered, and they probably had sleepless nights and has probably went through so much like pain and agony and anxiety, and people not believing them, and depression and a whole bunch of different things, right? When you making fun of that situation isn't funny, right? You making fun of somebody being sexually assaulted isn't funny. Faison Love, you going online and saying, I never heard nobody get arrested for being too freaky. That's weird. That's not okay, right? It surprises me. You can get convicted of different accounts of things, right? I think it's racketeering, sexual assault, sexual battery. I think it's like like a list of things. Look up the file, right? And read it through. It's a long file. But the fact that you can look at that and go online, go on a public platform, go on Instagram and be like, hey, I ain't never seen nobody get arrested for being too freaky. That means you're misinformed, and that is very irresponsible for you to say. That's something very irresponsible for you to say. And that's very insensitive to the people who have dealt with him throughout the years, who have been wanting to see him get put behind bars for a long time. People who he's assaulted, minors that he has assaulted, older people that he has assaulted, people that he's drugged induced. People in the thing they said that he had IVs after his intercourse sessions. Him and the people that he was with would have to get IVs because they were so dehydrated and so high on drugs. That's not okay, right? And for you to be like, yeah, man, he was just being freaky. That's it. No, bro, that's assault. That's assault. Being freaky is getting your booty ate. That's being freaky. You're freaky. You like getting your booty ate. That's freaky. You're a freak, right? If you like what's freaky? That I don't even listen. That's freaky. But what Diddy was doing, that's sick. That's sick. That's not freaky. That's sick. And Faison Love, you're sick too for sitting here and condoning that, right? And just standing behind that, right? So I want everybody that again, make your memes and stuff about Diddy, but do not include the victims in this, right? Leave the victims out of this. Leave the victims alone. Let's keep all attention in making fun of him. Let's make him look like the clown that he already is. Let's make fun of him, not the victims, right? That part isn't funny. Next thing I want to talk about this situation is how is the actual docket itself, right? I guess the funniest part about all of this is that he 1,000 bottles of baby oil, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. All right, boom, right? One bottle of baby oil can last you. One bottle of baby oil is like Murray's pomade. Like if you ever had waves, the Murray's pomade wave grease back in the day. The junk super thick paws and it's hard to get out and you rub it in. A can of Murray's can last you for 20 years. I'm not joking. A can of Murray's can last you a long time. If you can run through a can of Murray's that in less than 5 years, that's crazy to me. But that's what baby, when people say, oh, I got baby oil, that's what baby oil is in my head, right? A little goes a long way. Y'all ever heard somebody say, man, a little goes a little baby oil goes a long way. So the fact that you just had 1,000 bottles of baby oil posted up in the crib, hey, and whoever made the AI picture of the baby oil in the FBI, you're going to hell. You're going to the deepest parts of hell. You're an awful person. You're terrible. You're terrible. But the fact that you just had 1,000 bottles of baby oil just posted up along with other drugs and narcotics, what was going on? What were you doing where you needed 1,000 bottles of baby oil? And how often were you doing it where you needed 1,000 bottles of baby oil? What is the baby oil for? Baby oil isn't lube. I don't think you can use baby oil as lube. So like, what are you using the baby oil for, sir? Take that. What is I'm sorry. See, look, joking, playing too much. See, I got to stop. See, but yeah, like, what are you using 1,000 bottles of baby oil, 1,000 bottles of oil on the wall, 1,000 bottles of oil, take one down, pass it around, 1,000 bottles of oil on the wall. Like, what are you, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Also, what does this mean for the people who have openly supported him throughout history, right? People who have shouted him out in songs, people who have partied with him, people who have been signed to him, people who have been around him, close people that has been around him. What does this mean for them? What are the consequences that they're going to face? Because if you think that this man is going to go down alone by himself, oh boy, you have another thing coming. A shift is coming. And it brings me back to Watch the Party Die, right? I hate to make this a Kendrick thing, but it's just funny that a week after he released Watch the Party Die, this whole Diddy thing comes out. But I don't want to make this a Kendrick thing because it's not a Kendrick thing. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you hear Kendrick talking about Watch the Party Die? Look at what happened in the Diddy. It's dying. You see it. And I was like, I get it. I get what you're trying to do, but let's not make this that. Let's not make this that thing. Because it's not that thing. And I feel like we should keep focus and keep attention on the victims and him getting thrown under the jail, right? Let's keep focus on that. And also his bond, right? His bond, he asked for a $50 million bond, and the limitations that him and I guess his lawyer has set was that like he will have no female guests outside of family, and that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. It's like 3 or 4 different like guidelines that was set for him that he could or could not do. I think one of them is like he had to stay clean off of all drugs, like he couldn't take no drugs or nothing. And the judge immediately said no. The judge said no, because the judge didn't want him tampering with witnesses before the case, knowing that that's something that he is known for. He is known for fear mongering. He's known for putting fear in people and being like, hey, if you tell them about X, Y, and Z, I'll tell them about us doing X, Y, and Z. Or trying to pay people off like, hey, man, I'll pay you X amount of dollars, man. Don't even, you feel me? That's how he got the TMZ footage of that's how TMZ got the footage from the hotel of him and Cassie, doing what he did to Cassie in the hotel lobby, right? Not the hotel lobby, on the floor, like whatever floor they were on, I guess like a presidential suite floor or whatever, in a hotel room. Like there's no good that can come out of this. Like there's nothing positive that can come from this situation at all. And I just pray and I hope that, these victims are just going to find solace, and I pray that they find justice, and I pray that justice will be served, and I pray that the system will not fail us. To make, and it's hard to make light of the situation, but to make a little light of the situation, R. Kelly and Diddy will have the church. I mean, not the. I say the church. Oh Lord, have mercy. Please forgive me. Um, we'll have the prison talent shows going crazy. R. Kelly and Diddy will have the prison talent shows going crazy. R. Kelly be singing, uh, I don't know. I can't even think of an R. Kelly song right now. It's hot in here. I'm hot. But yeah, R. Kelly gonna be singing. Diddy gonna be Diddy bopping. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. So that's gonna be the entertaining part of all this. The prisoners will have a talent show that's gonna be crazy. But all seriousness though, man, I'm glad that this is happening, right? I'm glad that justice is being served after a long time. And the Fed said that they had a case built on him since 2008. So they've been building this case, just letting him stack up charges on top of charges, things on top of things, on top of things until, it was until, now, right? Until, and that's the thing, right? When people be like, I was watching this TikTok from this lawyer. I think his name's Kent Law. Kent Law, black guy, super funny, super intelligent, super well informed on the situation, right? And basically, he was like, when he explains to people the difference between a police officer, like state prosecution and federal prosecution, right? He was like, if you get arrested by the police officer, it's they arrest you, then they look into the case to find evidence, right? So it's, hey, this person did this to me, this person did that to me, and this person did this to me. They'll arrest the person accused, and then they'll do questioning later, right? While with the feds, they have a case against you already before you're arrested. Like, the case is already built. You're going to jail. Like, that's the if the feds get you, you are going to jail. Like, that's it. Like, there's no other way I can explain it. Like, you're done. Like, that's why he was out in Miami on the beach. That's why he was caught walking around New York. He was taking in his last little time of freedom, his last little great breath of freedom, breath of fresh freedom. And that's it. Like, he's like, you're caught. Like, the Fed's case was built too much. Like, the case was built too much for it to not be like, you feel me? Like, for him to not. So that's the difference, right? Between him just getting arrested by your everyday police officer versus the feds coming at you. If the feds coming at you, you're cooked. Like, you're done. And also, like, his kids, like, what does this mean for his kids, his children, what does this mean for them? What does this mean for his daughters? What does this mean for his sons? I'll never forget that King Combs diss track he did against 50 Cent, and he publicly told everyone that there was another house next door, and the feds missed the house next door because that's the one with all the evidence in it. And I continuously shake my head. I just shake my head in disappointment. We have to be better. We have to be better. We have to be smarter. We have to move smarter. But yes. Again, to all of the victims, my heart is with you. My prayers are with you. I pray for your healing during this time. I know that this is a rough time. And Cat Williams called it. Cat Williams said it at the beginning of the year. I think, what's that, the 7th of January, January 7th, Cat Williams said, Diddy likes to party, and you got to tell him no. You got to tell him no. That's what he said. He said you got to tell him no. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. And now look, it comes out. P. Diddy likes to party, and you got to tell him no. You got to tell him no. You got to tell him no for your sake, right? And also, there's a lot more Diddy's out there than what we expect. Not just like predators and people who commit assault, right? Yes, but I'm talking about people in high positions doing that as well, right? There's way more there's way more people out there like that than you think there are out there, right? Like, think about the people who Diddy was around and and his upbringing and like who taught him the game and who taught him the music business, right? Think of those people. I'm not going to name their names on here, but just if you don't know the people, look them up. I'll give you a hint. One of them is not in the country no more. One of them moved. One of them got out of here. Took all his millions and billions and got gone, right? But that's just what it is. Like, hey, and it's sad, right? Because most people are going to sit up here and be like, hey, man, the game's the game, but it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. That's why, like, we need change. We need no creeps and no freaks, and we need people who just care about the music and care about people and care about doing people right. We don't need people out here doing everything they can for selfish gain or for selfish, just ambition. You feel me? We need genuine label heads, genuine people who want to see other people win. We need to see that. Also another thing that's coming out about Diddy currently right now, a whole bunch of stuff with him and Justin Bieber. I didn't know that. I knew that Usher had guardianship of Justin Bieber, right? But I didn't know that Usher allowed Diddy to have guardianship of Justin Bieber for 48 hours. And then there was a video after that came out, like a couple years after the whole guardianship thing. And mind you, Justin Bieber was still underage. I think Justin Bieber was 15 at the time of the second video. The first video of Diddy being like, oh man, Justin Bieber, he's going to be hanging out with me for 48 hours. That was, I think Justin Bieber was like 12, 13 or something. I think it was like when Baby first dropped. This second time, he was about 15 in the studio. And Diddy came and he was like, man, you don't hang out with me no more, man. Why you ain't hang out with me no more? And Justin Bieber looked like a scared puppy. Like, he looked so terrified. Like, he was just, I'm sorry. Like, he just looked so scared and so terrified. So, yeah. Sick man. Sick man. RP Kim Porter, RP Heavy D. Yeah. I'll Be Sure. Shout out to I'll Be Sure, RP Pac, and RP Big. Next thing on the docket, Rubi Rose and Druski. Now, I don't usually talk about relationship stuff on here because this is just not this type of platform, but I feel like this could be a learning experience. So Rubi Rose, for God knows what reason, got on Instagram and shared that she never had sex with Druski, and she had sex with a whole bunch of other guys before dating Druski. And then once she dated Druski, she decided to be celibate, and she was only with Druski as a publicity like stunt, right? I remember seeing something on Twitter about their relationship a while ago, and it said in the comments, it was like she was like, it was a lady on Twitter, and she said, basically paraphrasing, she was like, Druski, she was like, Druski genuinely likes her. She doesn't like him. He is there for a relationship. She's there for a bag. That's basically what she was saying, right? And Rubi Rose outed herself and basically was like, yeah, I am. Oh, also, if you don't know who Rubi Rose is, Druski, he's a very famous comedian. I highly believe that you have seen a Druski skit one time, right? And most of y'all know who Rubi Rose is, but if you don't, Rubi Rose, she is a artist slash adult film. Now, I don't know if she does like adult film, or she has an OnlyFans model slash rapper, I guess that's what you will call it. I don't know, but she's dated and was with a lot of people in the industry. Beautiful young lady, right? However, this is the part that I wanted to point out, right? She, as beautiful as she is and as gorgeous as she is, like when I tell you, like, she's very beautiful, right? Sometimes I think, nobody be home sometimes. The lights are on, but nobody is home. because we didn't need to know that you never had sex with that man. You said that. Um, Also, somebody else on Twitter said that it like how she said how it came off like her saying, I never slept with Druski, da da da. I was celibate with him, and da da da. Just a whole bunch of stuff, right? And somebody online basically was like, "Hey, you know, it sounds like somebody she was trying to mess with said, nah, I'm not trying to mess with you because you mess with my man Druski, and now she's crashing out." And this is the response that we get, right? And in all honesty, it does. It sounds like she was trying to mess with somebody. That somebody was like, nah, I'm good. You mess with my mans. And then she started tweaking. But like, hey, like that's that. Listen, bro. Listen, man. That's the game, dog. That's the game. And shout out Druski for keeping it P. He posted something on his Instagram, and it was basically like the Love Don't Cost a Thing movie poster with his and her face on it, right? Oh no, I think it was just his face on it. I don't think he put her face on it. But he basically posted something on Instagram, just the Love Don't Cost a Thing Instagram movie poster. And I'm just so happy that he kept it P, because it's so easy not to keep that P. It's so easy just to be like, hey, man, F that girl, she lied, we did it. It's so easy to do that, but Druski was like, nah, I'm just gonna keep it P. Because she looks very clownish for doing that. She looks very clownish for doing that. And also on the flip side, she kind of openly told us, because she was saying that they were like, it was for PR that he was paying to be with her. So she openly admitted that she was getting paid to be with him. Now, I'm not going to jump to conclusions on what that means, but if you put two and two together, if I'm paying you to be with me, heard you exactly. So, I mean, hey, like, what is there to do? What is there to do, right? What are we going to do? Druski, keep your head up, my brother. Cause ooh, child, things not gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things not gonna get brighter. Sorry, brother. But shout out to you, Druski, for keeping it P though. Also, to all the fellas out there, just because she's bad doesn't mean that she's the one. Just because she looks good doesn't mean that she's the one. She doesn't, like, she looks great, but it doesn't mean that you need to bag that. Doesn't mean that you need to hit that. Doesn't mean you need to do anything with that. It doesn't mean that you need to be going out there getting every bad junk that you see. Doesn't mean that you need to be getting out there with every Instagram model, every junk that you see with a big booty. So I call her big booty. You don't need that, nigga. You ain't 2 Chainz, nigga. You is not 2 Chainz. You do not need that, brother. Get you a nice girl who's gonna be down, be loyal, who's gonna love you for who you are, for richer or for poor, for real. Yeah, discernment, my brother. Like, discern, who do you nah, I don't want to use him because another thing just came out about him too, but I want to get more information before I talk about it on the podcast, so I'm probably gonna save that one for Wednesday. But that's crazy. But anyway, yeah. Next thing on the docket, Rich Homie Quan's funeral looked amazing. Now I heard everybody talking about DC Young Fly's like speech that he made at the funeral. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I know what type of man DC Young Fly is. Not because I know him personally, but he's just like always talked about and confessed his love for Christ. And in every Instagram post, whether he's talking about one of his friends that he lost, or whether he's talking about his girl that sadly passed away, the mother of his kids that passed away, he always points back to, man, like it's God's purpose, like whatever God has, that's what we gotta do, family. And he sticks by that. And that's the one thing that I like and I appreciate from DC Young Fly, that he sticks by the, hey man, like no matter what, I'm gonna trust God through this. Like we're losing people. I'm losing some of my best friends. I'm losing some of my close friends, some of my close partners. I lost the mother, my girlfriend, the mother of my children. I lost her. However, I'm gonna stay 10 toes with everything. I'm gonna stay 10 toes through this, and I'm gonna stay 10 toes through this. You feel me? And I'm gonna keep my head high, and I'm gonna keep walking, as the man of God I am. And I always will appreciate DC Young Fly for that, and I'll always give DC Young Fly his flowers for that, because I think that is 100% totally amazing, right? Now, when it comes to the actual funeral itself, they sent Rich Homie Quan off like a king. The city of Atlanta, his family, his friends, whoever put together the funeral, they did an amazing job by him. They gave what is it called? The program that's not what it's called though. The obituary looked amazing. Then they gave everybody like a CD with the obituary, and then they released the song after the funeral. Like the whole thing just was put together so nicely, and everything was like looked so well. I think they like rode him off in like a horse in carriage through the streets of Atlanta. And then I seen a video of his son like getting super emotional performing one of his songs, like one of Rich Homie Quan's songs. And man, that's what legacy is. When people talk about legacy, and people talk about like the legacy that they want to leave behind for their kids and for their kids and for their families, that's what legacy is to me. Like something like something so long lasting, right? That the city can get behind you, the city where you're from, the whole world, but the city of where you're from can get behind you and bury you like a king, right? Like, man, they rolled out the red carpet for him, and that made me happy, right? It made me happy to see. Sad that he's gone, but I'm happy that the ceremony of life was, because that wasn't a funeral, that was a ceremony, that was a ceremony of life. Like that's what that was. That was a ceremony, bro. And it was so well done. It was so well done. It was so beautiful. It was so amazing. Then they had the repast, which looked like an after party, and then that was well done too. Yeah. So RP Rich Homie Quan, RP everybody else that we've lost during this tough month. But however, prayers to the family, but you guys did an amazing job. To backtrack a little bit, I seen a post of Rich Homie Quan's, I think that was the girlfriend that, Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend that found him on the couch, right? She made an Instagram post, and you can just like, she was just typing it. It's very long, but the pain, right? You can hear the pain. You can see the pain, right? And I think that's the grieving process that hurts the most. Also, people online, stop telling people how to grieve. Stop telling people, oh, we don't need to be in your business. You're supposed to be grieving by yourself. Stop telling people how to grieve. You don't know how hard a loss is or how hard losing somebody is until you have lost somebody. Trust me, I know. I didn't know how hard losing somebody was until I lost my great grandmother. I didn't know. But you don't know how hard a loss is to a family, how hard a loss is to a family until you lose somebody. So you can't tell somebody how to grieve. You can't be like, oh, this is the grieving process. You should do this. You need to do this. You need to be more compassionate. Be more nice. Be kind. Be kind to the family during this time. Be kind and respectful to the family during this time. That's what I can ask from you guys, right? Because you want that same kindness and same respect when you lose somebody. Have that same kindness and respect for them. Have that same grace with them that you will want somebody to have with you, right? If somebody is going through a really tough time, and I'm not saying this just specifically for her, right? But just anybody. If a family is having a really tough time right now, no matter how you feel about the individual that passed or how you feel about the family as a whole. I don't care if this is your next door neighbor or is somebody on the internet. If they're in the middle of a grieving process, bro, let them grieve for however long. It never stops. Grieving never stops. Like you just don't stop grieving. Like you just like the grieving button just don't get turned off, right? But life moves on, and that's just is what it is. Life moves on. You do as much as you can with as much as you can, and you grieve and you cry and you scream and you go through all the emotions. But at the end of the day, life has to move on, and that's just is what it is, right? That's just the harsh truth and reality on the situation. But yes, RP Rich Homie Quan, I'm so happy that the city of Atlanta supported you and did you well. Next thing on the docket, Lil Baby, BET is being a little petty, just a teat petty. So as I was scrolling through my Twitter account and I was looking at the BET nominations, right? I seen the nominations for best lyricist of the year, right? So I see Kung Fu Kenny. I'm like, okay, cool. I see Drake. I'm like, of course, he's nominated every year. Then I see Lil Wayne, and I'm like, I'm not saying Lil Wayne isn't a great lyricist, one of the greatest lyricists of all time, but I was just surprised to see him on the list for this year, right? And then I see Nicki Minaj, and then I was like, oh, BET, I see what you did. Then BET Hip Hop Award numbers was looking down. The past couple of years, them award numbers was looking down, and you had to bring them motherfuckers back up. You guys to bring them back up. Y'all listen to the Arts Block podcast, and y'all heard me say, what are we going to do about the award shows? Are the award shows losing this or? And you was like, the youngin' right. That's what they said. They was like, hey, listen, the youngin' on the pod, he might be right, y'all. He might be right. We might gotta step it up, and look what they doing. Now they got the big three versus K-Dot, and I feel like they're gonna do something funny too. I don't think I want Kendrick to win. Kendrick should win. Do I think Kendrick's gonna win? I think they're gonna do something funny. But if they don't, ciao BT. It'll be surprising to me. You know what? I don't even know when the BT Hip Hop Awards are happening, and in all honesty, I don't really care. You know why? Because I know who's going to win the awards. I know who's going to win. And I'm not mad at it because he deserves to win. Anything that Kendrick is nominated for, the year that he's had, he should win. Anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's best children's rap artist. Kendrick should win. Anything that he's nominated for, I think he has 11 nominations, he should win, right? And for the women, it's going to be a little toss-up. It's going to be a toss-up between Meg, Lotto, Doja, all the rap girlies, right? Nicki, all the rap girlies, it's going to be a toss-up between them. But all the male categories, Kendrick should win. Kendrick should sweep. This BET Awards, Kendrick should sweep. Not Like Us should win him a whole bunch of awards. His Like That feature should win him Feature of the Year. And remember, I'm a Cole guy. And Cole was, what verse is nominated for Cole? Cole has a verse that's a feature verse that's nominated. Is it First Person Shooter? I don't know. But Cole is nominated. And do I think that Cole should win? No. Because Kendrick just had that type of year, right? And if Kendrick keeps going on the victory lap that he's been going on, then I just think it's going to be way better. And I want to see the Drake stans react to Kendrick's winnings and Kendrick keep winning and the blessings raining down on that. Last thing on the docket, to get serious, right? I'm going to keep this really short and very sweet, right? To be very serious, right? There's a man in Missouri that's about to get executed in 3 days, 2 days from y'all watching this, right? Over a crime that he did not commit. His name is Marcellus Williams. He's in Missouri. I think this is his second time, I believe, being on death row. The first time, I think the governor of Missouri kind of shut it down. He was like, all right, yeah, he might not have did the crime. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Cool, just sentence him, right? Once that governor stepped down, the new governor of Missouri came back and he was like, I don't care. Boom, we're going to execute him. The prosecution came back and was like, whoa, we have more evidence that proves that he really he really couldn't have did the crime, right? I think it's a murder. And they was like, oh, he couldn't have did the crime. Like, it's DNA that say he was not even at the crime scene that night, right? The governor doesn't care. He's going to go through with it. But we can stop it. We can use our power to stop it. I'm going to use my platform to spread awareness on it. So please, if you can, please spread it on social media. Spread it on every account. Spread it on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you're on. Spread awareness to this. But also, please text Marcellus to 97016. That is Marcellus, MARCELLUS, to 97016. Please text that number immediately as soon as you can, so you can receive more information and be put on a it's like you're put on a thing. What's the thing? Like what's the Jones? What's it called? But it's like a petition. You're put on a petition, right? So please, again, one more time, please text Marcellus, that is MARCELLUS, to 97016. Again, Marcellus Williams, man in Missouri, is up for execution over a crime that he did not commit. We need to take a stand for this now, please. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I've been your host, Eric Curry III. Before we get on out of here, I'm gonna give y'all my Dead or Alive. Now, what is Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive is a segment on the pod where the artist on the pod gets to choose artists that we would like to work with that is dead or alive. Now, we can choose one artist, we can choose 100 artists. This is my pod. I'm gonna do whatever I want. You know, in light of them catching a lot of flack right now, right? I might get canceled for this, but in light of them catching a lot of flack and a lot of hate right now, Shits and Gigs, we like to work with Shits and Gigs. Here's the thing: Kev on stage and that chick Angel and Poor Minds. I would like to work with those amazing ladies as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I've been your host, Eric Curry III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. You can follow the podcast at Arts Block Podcast. If you're tuned in on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. If you're tuned in on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a pod. Yeah, I think I got through everything. Remember that I love you, God loves you, artists never die. Do something that makes you happy every single day. Do it well, do it with a purpose, do it with a smile. Be grateful that you're able to do it. And yeah, I will see y'all when I see y'all, boys. I am out. Peace.